I'm calling on the state of Florida to do the right thing, to do the only thing, to withdraw the charge of second-degree murder. George was viciously attacked by a nose-breaking attack. It is now high time, in the name of justice, to withdraw this improper charge. Again, these are the words from George Zimmerman's brother, Robert Zimmerman, just outside of the courthouse. And I want to bring in, again, defense attorney Danny Savalos and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Monica Lindstrom as well. Danny, just for starters, look, there's not going to be a continuance that was granted in this, and I know that the defense was very worried. They made a charge that's very serious, that the prosecution wasn't turning over discovery in a timely fashion, which means that they don't feel they could prepare for the start of trial just around the bend. When you don't get that, does that just mean nose to the grindstone harder? You get what you get, you don't get upset?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to asking for continuances, you like to think that court is going to grant a defense motion for a continuance. It doesn't seem like this case has been around all that long. It is a murder case. I was surprised that the judge didn't grant that motion for a continuance. However, once you find out the judge has ruled the way she has, it means that you have a lot less time to go forward to trial. And this happens all the time in a trial calendar. Things move around, things get moved up, so you have to be a good improvist and get right back, put your nose, as you said, to the grindstone.
But it's not an appellate issue, is it? Not an appellate issue?
It should be an appellate issue. It's something that later on could really go to the effective assistance of counsel, whether or not counsel in this case was able to prepare for trial. And the other issue is obviously what we call a Brady-Giglio issue, whether or not the prosecution turned over evidence or documents in a timely manner.
So, Monica, no gag order. This was something that the prosecutors were rather concerned about. They had stated that the defense attorneys for George Zimmerman were putting a lot of material out there. Once discovery got, to their desks, they were releasing it to the media. But here's what I want to know. As a defense attorney, if you go through some of the motions you were denied today, meaning a lot of that material from Trayvon's cell phone they can't use, that maybe show him to be not as innocent as perhaps the media has depicted him to be, if you can't do that at trial, does that mean you do it now because there's no gag order? You just get it out to the jury pool so that everybody sees it. Maybe they don't see it in the courtroom, but they see it.
You know, Ashley, it really depends on the ethical rules. Each jurisdiction has ethical rules that the attorneys have to follow. Some jurisdictions allow the defense attorneys in criminal cases to go out there and basically put out that character information and anything else, as long as it's not in violation of a court order. Other jurisdictions say no, you can only say things that will protect your client in the eyes of the potential jury pool. You can't just put anything out there. So depending on what ethical rules they're bound by, they might have to walk a very fine line. Something else that you need to think about is, even though the judge said that some of these things won't be coming in, basically saying this character evidence of Trayvon, what he was like, did he have gold teeth or not, what did his text messages say, something about the marijuana, whether these things come into trial or not, right now she has said no. But, America, remember, if the prosecution opens the door to some of those issues, the judge will likely allow the defense to bring those issues in. But he cannot.
That happens a lot.
It does.
I see those mistakes made all the time. A big old open door and the wind comes flushing through. Hold that thought for a minute. I have to squeeze in a quick break, but we're back right after this. Right back to Sanford, Florida, where our stories have been breaking over these hearings this morning in the George Zimmerman second-degree murder case. It was such a busy morning, I can't even bring them all to you, but what I can do is the next best thing. That's HLN's legal correspondent, Jean Casares, because she was in court for all of them. She's also an attorney and understands this better than anyone. So break it down for me. You don't have to go list by list, but break down in essence what you saw transpire in that courtroom, Jean.
I saw motion after motion be granted for the prosecution or denied for the defense. This was clearly a day of wins for the prosecution. And I think the point of this judge is that this is not going to be a trial where Trayvon Martin is on trial and his character is assuaged in court. You know, there are times, Ashley, as you well know, that when there are motions in limine by the prosecution to keep out certain things, the judge can defer the rulings. The judge can say, you're not going to mention drug use in the opening statement. You're not going to mention that marijuana was found in his system. You're not going to mention that he was suspended from school and that was why he was in Sanford, Florida. But I will reserve my ruling, not this judge. This judge made ruling after ruling. The only door she really opened, Ashley, in regard to any of that is in regard to fighting. That if the defense can show foundation and it is not hearsay, then some aspects of fighting or propensity to fight could come into this trial on the part of Trayvon Martin.
So if there's additional evidence coming in discovery, which maybe they don't know about yet, maybe that could lead them to, and I'll just give you a last 10 seconds on this, Jean.
You're right. I mean, a trial is very fluid. You never know what is going to come in. The defense will continue to renew their motions, you can be assured. But today was a day of wins for the defense. The trial could have been shortened quite a bit because of the rulings the judge made today.
Jean Casares, excellent work. And I know you had to make a lot of notes because it came at you very quickly. Those motions were faster than I've seen in a long time. Jean Casares reporting live for us, Danny Savelis and Monica Lindstrom. Thank you all. We're back right after this break.